let's move on to a really dangerous team in this division. They were dangerous last year. They were dangerous 2 years ago when they drafted Justin Herbert. Look, every time I talk about Justin Herbert, I have to apologize because I did not think he was going to be this good based on his senior year at Oregon. I was blown away. I was wrong. My bad, Justin. He is a game-changing talent and a huge problem, not only for the Chiefs, but for the other two teams in that division. Brady, I'll start with you. What do you think about what the Chargers have done? Caesars has them at 10 wins over-under. What do you think is going to go on in L.A. with that team?
Well, look, the roster didn't need a whole lot, but being able to get additional protection for Justin Herbert was one of the big keys, and they got one of the better players in the entire draft in Zion Johnson out of Boston College. So, boom, a hit there. More depth in the backfield was Isaiah Spiller, who ended up getting only in the 4th round. To me, could have been a 2nd-round, 3rd-round pick when you look at the tape. And then Jamari Sawyer out of Georgia to add some depth to that offensive line. So, just on the offensive side of the ball, I think they checked off a lot of boxes. Outside of that, they really didn't need a whole lot else. Even though they obviously made a few additions over the course of this offseason, in particular Khalil Mack, adding that to the defense. But I think this is a team that's a playoff team to me. Now, I don't have them winning a ton of games in comparison to the Kansas City Chiefs. I've got them right at that win total at 10 wins, so it'd be a push in this case. And really, reason being is the way their schedule sets up. And I think I guess I need to see it before I believe it with this team. The bye, again, comes at a pretty good time. And the front half of their schedule, to me, is a lot easier than the back half. When you take into account the Jaguars, the Texans, the Browns. The Browns, by the way, we don't even know if they're going to have Deshaun Watson or not. If they don't, those are 3 very much winnable games outside of the couple divisional games to start off your season with. So I like this schedule the way it sets up. I think this is one of those where if the Chargers can stay healthy, which is a huge key, and build momentum for the first half of the season, they can get to 10 wins and potentially make a run once they get into the playoffs.
Yo, I'm high on the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert has an opportunity to potentially be the best quarterback in the entire division, and that will say a lot. So I'm going over. I see 12 wins for the Chargers based on some of the additions that Brady hit on. But when you look at the defense, I mean, going to get a guy in Khalil Mack and you pair him up with Joey Bosa, just think about that duo of edge rushers the opposing offenses will see week in and week out. Not to mention they brought in ball-hawking corner J.C. Jackson. Then you go get Bryce Callahan, a guy who can command the slot corner just as best as any corner in the National Football League. So they improved dramatically on the defensive side. Also bringing back Mike Williams, another quality receiver for Justin Herbert. I love everything about this team. The only concern that I have, guys, in regards to the Chargers hitting that 12-win total for me is Brandon Staley. Will he finally put the joystick down and coach the game like it's real football? Coach Staley, you're not playing Madden. It's okay to punt the ball. It's okay. If he can just adjust and make that change, this team, me personally, 10 wins, you got to go over. I see 12 happening.
B-Mac, it's so funny you said that because I wanted to ask. I'm going to ask you first, and I'll have Brady follow on that. So you guys played in the NFL a long time. B-Mac, you played for 2 different coaches, both won Super Bowls. Brady, you played for a handful of coaches as well. Do you want someone like Brandon Staley who is way crazy with what he does, but you know how it's going to play out? You're going to go for it on 4th down no matter what? Or do you want someone a little more conservative, even if you get pushback from the fans and the media? B-Mac, I'll start with you.
More conservative for me because if you continue to go for it, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to convert those opportunities. And you put the defense in a tough situation. I feel we used to always tell ourselves on the sideline, give us more than a blade of grass to protect, and we can protect it. But if you don't, I mean, we're standing on eggshells. That's already a difficult task as it is. So punt the football, play the game how it's supposed to be played. Like I said, you're not playing Madden. It's not a video game. You can't go for it every time you feel like it.
Well, look, the analytics would tell you otherwise, and here's why I love it, because I think it actually is sending a vote of confidence for both the offense and the defense, meaning, look, I've got what I feel like to be a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert, so I think he's going to be able to get it more often than not. Instead of 1 out of 10, maybe more like 6 times out of 10, 5 times out of 10. He's willing to take those chances and those odds, and the times they don't get it, they've got that defense to rely on. So why not in an offensive league when it's really built up for big plays and pass interference where you get the advantage of yardage, not just automatic 1st down and 15 yards. So I love the aggressiveness. I know it hasn't worked out at times for Brandon Staley, but I think over the period of time, and the analytics community will tell you this, the more you do it, the more it's going to play out to your favor. At least that's what they would say. So I think it's more of a vote of confidence. I would love it as a quarterback. Give me another shot to be out there in the field. And as a defensive player, it's like, come on, B-Mac, have a little swag to you. Have some confidence out there that your coach is saying, it's all right if we don't get it. You'll get the stop for us. You'll get the ball back for us.
I'm okay in being tough, Brady. I'm okay in being tough, but if you're telling me we're playing against Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson and we're backed up on our 30-yard line and it's 4th and 3, we're going for it, Coach, at some point in time, these guys get paid a lot of money. At some point in time, they're going to capitalize. Just understand that. Like, just the counter argument to that is you're going to have to go for those 4th downs in order to beat Patrick Mahomes, because who has the ball last probably ends up winning the game. So even more so in those scenarios. Now, if you're telling me there's a bad football team where you don't believe they can drive the field, different story. Going against Houston, going against Jacksonville, all right, punt the ball, make Trevor Lawrence, make Davis Mills prove to me they can go the length of the field. I get that argument, but with guys like Patrick Mahomes, you know they're going to be able to go the length of the field, so you might as well try to go for it anyway.
There you go. All right. I think what I've learned here is that BMAC is channeling Pete Prisco, and Pete is very happy with your stance there, BMAC, on punting the ball on 4th down consistently. All right, let's.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.